Hey everyone, it's Wingspan TT, and if you're watching, you know what time it is. It's time for Duels 2013. I am jumping back in with Crosswinds. I am determined to make a decent, I just seen people hating on this deck, and I want to just give this deck a better name. I will say this is a pretty damn good opening hand. I mean, you got Talrand, Sky, Jesus. I can't imagine a better hand. I do want to say I'm not just picking my games because it takes about it takes a lot of gigabytes of space to actually record these matches on my hard drive. So I don't just record tons and tons of them and just skim through them. This is just one of the first matches I'm playing with this deck. I have been playing the single player in between the multiplayer matches, but I just want to just jump right in and show you what's going on. So right off the bat, playing Talrands on turn 4 is going to be insane because whenever I cast instant sorcery, put a 2/2, now a 3/3 Drake token into play with favorable winds. Okay. And right after that, I get to play Talrand's Invocation, which is allowing me to put 2 3/3s, and then he puts a 3/3 into play. So my opponent, oh man, the storm is coming. Just let him know. Just give him a heads up. Just just FYI, you can watch this game at YouTube. Like, I gotta plug it. I have to do this. This is what I do. This is how you become a star. It's just spam. Right? Think about all the stars you know. Ben Affleck, okay? Lady Gaga, William Henry Harrison. Oh shit, he's got this thing. He has got this thing. Target creature you control fights another target creature. So he is getting the beats down ASAP. Oh no, he's not scared. So I am really going to need a lot more mana. This is going to be actually quite scary. It does make me wonder if I should cast one of these Talrand's Invocations first, so I can get 3/3s on the board he's not going to want to make his creatures fight against. Yes, because it does seem like, alright, if I cast this guy first, he's dead right away. He's going to make this guy fight, then it's just going to get wiped off the board. Whereas if I can cast Talrand's Invocation first, get the 3/3s on the board, he's going to be a little bit more hesitant to do that, and then possibly once I get Talrand in the board later, I can protect him with this ring. So, that's not that wasn't my game plan, but this is another thing. A lot of people, when they're building decks in real life Magic, they have this game plan, like turn 1 I'm going to play this, turn 2 I'm going to play this, turn 3 I'm going to play this, turn 4 I win, but you never really think about what is your opponent going to be doing? How is their game plan going to get in the way? And his game plan has definitely gotten in the way. He wasn't expecting me to drop 3/3s on the board. He's got 4 mana. I don't know exactly what he could be doing. But he's going to be asking himself now, do I want to use this fighting mechanic to get rid of these 3/3 flyers? Little does he know there's even more 3/3 flyers coming. But until, okay, he is going to be using the ability here. So he's going to be sacrificing one of his guys to deal 3 damage to one of my Drakes and then 3 damage back to, oh no. What? Oh, that's exactly what happened. Alright, I just wasn't sure. The lines were a little blurry. And then he drops Emerald Medallion. So yeah, dropping Talrand right now. I don't know why he's doing this. He wants to get my creatures off the board. And I guess currently I am behind on life, but... Alright. What he doesn't know is I'm going to be dropping more of these guys right away. Now he could drop another creature that's 2/2. I could drop my Talrand. I want to see if I have enough mana. If I draw a land. Nope, I don't have a land. I could bounce that thing and buy me a turn, but it's really scary. What's he going to play next turn? He's got to have the mana. If I play Talrand, will I have the mana to protect it? So I'm not sure. I could play the Hatchling for 1, attach this thing for 1, and still have 2 to bounce that if I want, or bounce whatever other play he has. So I might do that. Or I could play the Invocation and get things on the board, but he can immediately make them fight. Getting Talrand would be really powerful on the board, especially if I could get the ring on it right away. But it depends. If he has something cheap he could drop and use the ability, but if he doesn't have a creature for less than 2, it's not going to matter. So I'm just going to drop Talrand and hope I can get the ring on him. I don't know if that's a smart play. There's a lot of different plays here. I could have dropped this Kraken Hatchling. So hopefully he does not have a creature that costs cheap enough that he can drop it. Okay, he could definitely have one for 3 mana and make them fight and kill off Talrand. See, now that I think about it, it's starting to feel dumb. It's starting to feel dumb. He might have a power play creature he wants to drop. I can, of course, disperse it, which will get me 2 3/3 creatures. So we'll see. Alright, he's going to drop this thing, the 5/5 bug. Okay, that's scary. So should I be more afraid of the 5/5 bug or more afraid of the fact that he can use this to make them fight? He's not going to attack. That would be really dumb. No, I don't know what he's even thinking. So if I can get the ring on it, though, he can't make anything fight with Talrand. So, but I would need to leave 2 mana open. Okay, so I need 3 mana for that. That would leave me exactly 2 mana. I could use then Disperse and get emergency blockers. I might be able to trick him into attacking with a 5/5 and then get the 2 3/3s to attack. So that'd be 1, 2, 3 to make it have hexproof. Okay, and then 2 for Disperse on this thing. Give me my 2 blockers. All right, that's what my plan is. Right, so I'm gonna equip it onto Talrand. Now he's going to slowly become bigger, so hopefully he gets out of the fighting range eventually. And now we're just going to pass the turn. Definitely not going to attack into this. He could be getting an army of 1/1s, but I'm going to have an army of 3/3 flyers soon, which is, you know, just slightly more intimidating. They're like, look at these things. They're like ugly-ass giant seagulls. So let's see what he's going to do. And if he wants to fight, he's going to have to use 2 of his mana. So he's going to use the 2 mana. I feel like people don't know what the hell Hexproof does. So he's going to attack, he's going to use this guy and this guy. Nope, he realizes this is a bad idea. So I want to see if he attacks with the Ant Queen first. And he must know that if I have instants, I can just... Oh, I'm only going to get 1. I only get 1 Drake at a time. Okay. So he gets the Primordial Hydra. Very cool. It does make me wonder... Hold on. What does this do? 4 mana, enters the battlefield. So it's going to be... Okay, geez, that is scary. It's going to be 4/4, and then it's going to become an 8/8, and then it's going to become 16/16. Okay. So I could bounce it now at the end of his turn, so he's forced to replay it. And then I'm going to get more tokens next turn. So I could definitely do that. But he's just going to cast it away bigger. I could also cast this thing. I could just bounce it so I don't take the damage this turn. So yes, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to just bounce this thing goodbye. I'm going to get my token so it won't have Summoning Sickness. Okay. He has to recast it now. And now my Talrand's going to be a 3/3. Not that it really matters because this thing's going to be really scary. Now he's got this big fighting bully on the board that he can pretty much just do anything with. So I'm in a little bit of trouble here. This is sorcery. I pretty much have to use this now. I have 6 mana. But I could attack with the 3/3 first. He's going to have this as 8/8 next turn. So realistically speaking, I'm not going to block it. He could definitely use the fighting mechanic to just kill off this creature. So there's absolutely no point to trying to protect this thing. I might as well just protect Talrand and leave the 2 mana open so I have the option of giving him hexproof if I have to. So I get 2, get 1 of those, and get 2 more. So this is the power. See, this is when I was saying there's 2 ways you can play this deck. You have favorable winds. You can go with the big flying route, all right? You can go with the spell route also. Nope. So he is now going to target this thing, and now I'm going to give it hexproof. So now it can't be targeted. And he could swing for 8 this turn, but I'm swinging for 12 next turn. He's at 17. He can't block my creatures. They're flyers. So he's kind of actually in way more trouble than I am, because he's got his 8/8. It doesn't have trample yet. I could block it and chump, but I can live 3 turns. He's only going to live 2. That is assuming he doesn't play anything scary. He's got 4 mana. He could drop that thing, but there's just nothing he can do right now. So he's going to play this thing. So let's think about it. Game plan, right? I'm just going to pause the timer to think. And a lot of people worry that when there's combat, they don't have enough time to think. Well, then you don't have to pause it in combat. You can pause it preemptively. Is this a dick move? Kind of. Let's see what happens. Let's say he attacks with the 8/8. I take 8. I go down to 9. Next turn, I swing for 12. Okay, he goes down to 5. And then basically what? Then he attacks. He's going to have a 16/16. That's going to be trample. That's going to be a problem. So that would kill me. So I might want to chump it this turn, because I'm not going to be able to chump it with the 16/16 trample. So that's just a word of wisdom right there. Then I'll be swinging for 9 next turn. It'll still kill him in 2 turns. So very important. Okay? I'm not going to be able to chump it when it's 16/16. So I am going to block. I could block with all 3 actually. And I think that would give me a superior board position. Although I could still, essentially, if I block with all 3 and kill it now, he has a 5/5 on the board, the 1/1. I have this thing that gets bigger every turn. He can make tokens, and I'm just going to have 1 blocker, but I will be able to drop another blocker soon. You know what? I'm not taking chances. I'm just going to do this. Because if he has anything that could disrupt my plans, I just need to get this Hydra off the board. I still get to keep one of my guys. He loses one of his guys. I lose 2 tokens. Alright, mind you, I got this guy for free off of Talrand's ability. Now he's a 4/4. Okay. And now I'm going to play Kraken Hatchling, but I'm going to wait until after combat. He's going to swing for 5, but I can swing for 6. If he's smart, he's going to start having these creatures fight these guys instead of Talrand. But once Talrand is big enough to survive fighting with one of these things, I don't have to worry about it. Okay? So now he's at 11. And he's going to have to start worrying. Now, I'm going to play Kraken Hatchling just so I have a blocker. He could just easily dispatch of it, but he's going to waste the fighting mechanic on a 0/4. Seems like a waste. I'm going to leave this island in my hand. A lot of players are going to play this island right away. Don't do that. You can see how many cards your opponent has in hand. So if he knows that I have 1 card in hand, he could think it's something scary. It's some instant spell. I'm going to do some magical skill that's going to screw up his day. He might not attack if he thinks it's a scary card. This card is so scary. Alright, let's see what he does. If he's smart, he's going to take out one of these 3/3s. If he's not smart, he's going to try to kill Talrand. What are you doing? Do you not get what this does? Alright. Did you read it yet? Please? Okay, he didn't read this card yet, so there you go. So that is very safe. Now he's going to swing possibly for 5 this turn. I'm just going to take it if he swings for 5. Because he could swing for 5. I get a 5/5 next turn, then he's going to start having to use his chumps on this. One thing that makes me very, very angry with Stainless is that they did not fix the way instant things work in this game. So, oh, he lifts the game. I win! So, since that game ended a little prematurely, I would like to explain what I was talking about. So, in Duels of Planeswalkers, the original Duels of Planeswalkers, if you had instant abilities on, but your opponent did not, instant ability resolution would not happen in the game. I hate this. It doesn't show you which card you unlock this way. Alright, enchant creature. That could actually come in some use. I'm trying to think what the worst card in this deck is. I already took out these Hydro Surges. They're pretty bad. Possibly Kraken Hatchling, but there's so few early game plays that I feel like you need them to survive since these things can't block. And again, cards I say are the worst now, they're not necessarily the worst. You know, I'm just going to leave everything. 61 cards is a killer. But anyway, what I was saying is that in Duels of Planeswalkers 2000, the original Duels of Planeswalkers, let's say you had instant effects on and your opponent did not. Well, then when you play the actual game, it wouldn't force... No one would have instant effects. As long as one player didn't have an instant effects on, neither player would have it. But now it's asymmetrical. If my opponent has instant effects on and I don't, I could be at a disadvantage. Because let's say he has a card that's an instant that allows him to gain 10 life. Okay? I mean, not an instant, but let's say he has one of those effects in play, like whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life. Let's say I have a card that could kill him. He might be able to have this instant effect that allows him to gain life, and now there's something I can't respond to because it's basically instant. I can't respond to it, and now I can't kill him. And that's kind of bullshit. So Stainless, Wizards of the Coast, if you're watching this video, I really think it should go back to the way it was in the original Duels. I think if one player does not have instant effects on, it should force both players to not have it on. It's the only way to have a fair match, or force both players to have it on, although I think that would be kind of lame. Anyway, everyone, I'm Wingspan TT. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back next time. Cheers!